All right, just want to check my volume, make sure it's working. Let's see. All right. Yes, it is. Awesome, awesome. Hello, how y'all doing? Welcome back to the page. I am Laurie, a designer for Southern Charm Wreaths, as well as the community manager. I hope your day is going well. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to do a beaded hoop wreath winter design. Okay, so this is what we call the beaded hoop wreath. It has beads all the way around. I'm going to bring you down real quick and show you how I have prepped this wreath to get started to design on it. Hang on one second. There we go. Let me pull it back just a little bit. And I am going to pull you in. I'll show you what we're going to be working with in just a second. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can take extra pieces of greenery and that you have left over and turn it into a wonderful design. All right, so on this beaded hoop wreath, I have made taken a piece of styrofoam. It is right at 4 inches across. It's about a ½ inch wide to an inch wide. I have taken 2 zip ties and I have tied them to the back, as you can see. Now these beads will roll, and as far as keeping these beads stable to where they will not roll on you, I have gone in and just placed hot glue in between each one of the beads. All right, I have a little underneath the beads on both sides, and that has secured it to where it will not roll at all. Okay, so that's how I've prepped it. Everything that I'm going to put in it is going to go in here. But the first thing I want to do is I want to cover this up with a little teeny bit of Spanish moss. It fell down. And we're going to show you how to do that real quick. Hope everybody's having a good day. All right, so I only have a certain amount of space right here. And I'm going to be using U-pins. I'll show you what U-pins are. They're flourished U-pins. They look just like this, kind of in the shape of a U. The length on these U-pins right here is too long, because if I stick this through, it's going to go through my styrofoam in the back. So I cut these down very easily. I just come in and I snip the ends off a little bit to where I know that I have plenty of space that I can stick this U-pin in and it will not go through. So let me cut a couple of these real quick. Probably going to do 4 or 5. Preparation on your wreaths and doing your mechanics is very important. It's going to ensure that your design is well constructed. Okay, that's 5. Let's see how far that gets me. Hi, Tina. I'm doing great today. How are you? Hi, Kimberly and Terry. Good to see you all. All right, so I don't have much of the green Spanish moss at all. All right, you're not going to need much. A lot of our design elements are going to cover this up, but just in case, we want to make sure that this styrofoam is covered. So I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to dip this. I'll show you another little tip. If you have some needle nose pliers, I like to dip it in glue, right? So in order not to get your fingers in the actual glue, I just use my needle nose pliers to hold it, and I put it down in there. I'm just going to go around and get a couple of these in so it will hold the Spanish moss. Got 2 more to go. You don't really want to put a lot in here because if you have to use steel picks for your elements, you don't want to take up space there by inserting them in. All right, so I have the top portion done. We're not going to worry about the sides, but I'm going to turn it over on the back, just like that, and we're going to put some more in. Now this side is a little bit more challenging because we have the beaded hoop that we want to not cover up. So I'm going to try it and see if this is going to be too long by not cutting it down. Yeah, I think that's good. There's a little bit more length on the back than the front. Just like that. Then I'm going to take another piece of Spanish moss, and I'm going to put it on the other side. You got to remember, I say it all the time, some people have clear storm doors. I hang my wreaths on the outside of my storm door. It's all glass. And when I open my front door, I see the back of my wreath. And I want to make sure that it is covered. Okay? Now, there we have that. I'll bring it up close to you. See that right there? This is the other side. But we are going to have to give it a haircut. So I just take my scissors and I just clip off any excess that is hanging over, just to clean it up just a little bit. Remember, this really won't be seen, but it just ensures that it is going to be cleaned up. And there we go. That's what we have. Okay? All right, I'm going to hang this up real quick, clean this off, and I'm going to pull you up, and we're going to get started. There we go. All right. Let me get this cleaned up real quick. Hi, Mary Mind Studios. This is not in the portal. This will be on Southern Charm Wreaths YouTube channel. Okay. All right, here we go. Now, beaded hoop wreaths, I'm going to do all greenery. I'm going to throw some magnolia in. Let me pull you out just a little bit. Magnolia in. I'm going to do some really pretty pine. I'm going to put in some frosted cedar. I'm going to bring in some eucalyptus with white berries. This is winter. This is not necessarily holiday. I have some more white berries if I choose to put them in. And I have some dark green cedar. Now, all this stuff is left over, or the majority of it is left over from previous projects. And if you design on a regular basis, you're always going to have some items that are left over. Well, we don't want them to go to use, right? I don't have enough of these items to make another wreath. So I do have enough to make a small bunch. And a beaded hoop wreath is a great way to use it. Now, you can paint these beaded hoop wreaths. You can stain them. You can paint them white, green, brown, a neutral, black, whatever you wish, whatever color you wish to use. You can definitely do that. Remember to do that prior to designing your design, okay? And the other thing is, it will use up the material and end up being very pretty when you finish with the design and you have that leftover material used up. So let's get started. I am going to put a white bow in. I'm going to tell you, this is not ribbon. Although they call it ribbon, it has tinsels on it. It's white tinsel. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head what the name of it is, but I have just made two little loops on each side, zip tied it together, and I have put another U-pin in it, if you can see it, to stick into the styrofoam. It comes in a round bunch like this, right? It is very hard to twist. It's very hard to twist. So what I did was I just made 4 loops and zip tied them together. But I will be putting this in, all right? All right, so let's get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to build my base up around my styrofoam, okay? I need some large leaves for coverage. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in some magnolia. Turn my glue up a little bit. And I am going to insert this in the back of my styrofoam. So it is leaning backwards, okay? There's one. What we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. I think I'm going to cut these down a little bit. Now, I have put a steel pick on these because the nubs on the top are not strong enough to go into the styrofoam. Okay, we're going to go across. Hi, Terry. How are you? I'm going to put some more right here. Or another one right here. Okay. If you can see, this leaf is not on the same plane as this one right here. Let me exaggerate it a little bit more for you. Okay, we want to make sure that our leaves going across are not on the same plane. So I'm going to put another one right here. So basically, I'm making an X. Now, I'm going to come across, but this one right here, I'm going to kind of go a little bit more up and down. In other words, the leaf is more up than down than pointed out. Let me do this. I'm going to pull you a little bit closer so it will lighten this up a little bit. The sun is shining bright today. I am doing good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you asking. Okay, we're going to put one right here. There we go. And last but not least, we're not going to forget underneath. Right? So I have basically gone in and put my first layer in. Okay? To get things started. Everybody see that? I know it looks like it's a little empty over here, but that's okay. It'll be all right. Okay, the next thing I have is this glittered pine. These are short pine pieces on this pick, right? And my thought is I want some length to it, okay? But it's too long. It's way too long. If I put this right here, it's way too long. So I want to go in and cut this section out, okay? What I did was I went in and I measured how far I wanted it to come off of my design. And this right here is about as far as I want it. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this down. And if I can cut it down with this needle nose, with these pliers, great. And it worked. So now I've taken some length off, but I've got some really good coverage, okay? Let me cut this down. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. I'm going to cut this right here. Sorry for the noise. And then I'm going to cut the stem down right here. There we go. All right, so here's my thought. I'm going to come right here and I'm going to stick this in here. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm just making sure they're the same size, basically. Probably need to cut this little tip on one of these off. There we go. All right, I'm going to put it in some hot glue. There is a string around this wire and I'm just making sure. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to push it all the way down in here. Okay? And then I'm going to bend it out a little bit. Give it some life. Okay? Then we're going to do the same thing to the other side right here. See that little string? Cut that off. Make sure the string does not drop. I'm going to come right in here and do the same thing. There we go. All right, this right here is a little too long. Remember, we're trying to keep our shapes, okay? Come in here and cut those down just a little bit. Now what I can do with what I cut off, I can come in here and put this piece in, but I think I'm going to wait just for a few. The next thing I want to do is I want to come in here and put my bow in. All right. So I'm going to dip this in some glue. And I'm going to take this U-pin and I'm going to stick it right through there to where it holds onto it. There we go. See that right there? Once I get my bow in, then I can go in and begin to fill around my bow as well. All right. I still have a couple of pieces of pine left. Do I want to go ahead and put this in? I think I do. I'm going to put a bottom piece in. I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. I might come in and cut some more off of the pine, but for right now, I'm going to leave it as is. There we go. Come in and put this right here. I'm going to do another one on the other side. Same identical place. It's pretty big, isn't it? I think I'm going to hold off on this one. Just going to wait. Just going to wait. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put some glittered ice cedar in. And I'm going to cut this down. As you can see, if you look at the back, I'm going to cut this down. And turn it into 2 to 3 pieces. So that's what I have right here. This one is wider. It's wide, so it's going to give me some coverage, right? As well as this right here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and cut this down just a little bit. Just trim off these top pieces. Let's reduce it down just a hair. I think it looks better proportionally if we do that. Okay, I'm going to leave the bottom as is for right now. Let's see, where's my other piece? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coming in and I'm going to come in between these pines and I'm going to start placing this cedar, this glitter iced cedar in. I'm going to cut some of this more up, cut more of this up. If I can talk right. There we go. Goodness gracious. I'm going to come right here and put some of this in. Well, I'm going to need a still pick on this. These won't go through the styrofoam very well. Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Yes, it would. You could do this indoors or outdoors. So what I'm doing here is I'm going in at an angle. Okay. I'm going to come down here and put some right here. Or possibly right here. There we go. I don't want to cover up my bow. Let me get another one. The thing about this bow, and I knew this going in, is it's not very flexible. You got to keep it in like one place. Okay, I'm going to come right here, put this right here. Yes, they are. Right there. I'm going to take this out and reposition it. Needs to be on top a little bit better. There we go. Come right over here and put some right here. Now, on this beaded hoop wreath, this is different than a grapevine wreath. Grapevines, you can build out from your base, but on a beaded hoop wreath, unless you have styrofoam built up, you know, you got to stay in one place, which I do not, which is fine. So everything's going to be concentrated right here. There we go. I want to wait. Well, I'm going to put some of these smaller pieces in. Y'all hang on one second. My still pick machine, I'm not sure if I mentioned it last week or not. A piece fell out of it last week. I've had this thing at least 10 years and sometimes it wants to act up. There we go. She's still running, still working. Okay. Okay, I'm going to build back a little bit from the first layer. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to place this one behind. I'm going to start giving it a little bit of dimension. Right? Come right in here and try to get some right up in there. The more dimension you can give your designs, the more elevated they will appear to be. Have one more. Again, I'm going to break this one up. Now, I'm not cutting down my steel pick at this moment because I need a little bit more length. And the steel pick helps give me that length. Okay, we're going to come right here and put some back here. See how I'm building outward? In other words, I have my first layer here, my second layer's going here. I'm kind of building outward. Come up under here, put some right there. And I have one more piece I'm going to put right here. Let's see. There we go. All right. We have that right there. So far, I'm going to pull you in and let you look at it. Get you as close as I possibly can. Thank you, Kimberly, for answering questions. Yes, this is a steel pick machine. And if you do a lot of wreath making, it is a wonderful time saver. Okay. Let's move on. Now, I think we need to break up some of this greenery, right? And we have several different options. I can come in here and I can put some eucalyptus in it with some shiny glittered berries, right? I can come in here and put some white berries in it, which is really pretty. If I do that, then I need to put a couple more elements in before I do that. That is really pretty though. Let's just try it. You want to? You're welcome, sweetie. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it at Hobby Lobby. Get them at Hobby Lobby. A lot of people find them on Facebook Marketplace. They are not cheap, but well worth an investment. Well, you can't see the berries right like that. Pull this out just a hair. Let's see, what do I think? So pretty. Let's just try it. I'm just pulling this apart. And I'm going to put a still pick on it. If you do not have a still pick machine, Terry, you can always use a wooden floral pick. And they come in several different sizes. I'm just pulling these apart. When you see sprays or picks that have paper around them, they're pretty easy to pull apart. All right, I'm going to bring this back a little bit to give me some height, right? Get some of this paper off. I think I'm going to put a little bit of eucalyptus right here. Bend this down just a little bit. I'm going to put some right here. I live in North Carolina, like some of y'all know, and so we don't get really snowy winters. Ours is more ice, and so this is why I'm doing the ice one. This reminds me of home. There we go. Okay, let's keep working with some berries. It's looking good. Now, if I want you to pay attention, what I'm doing is I'm putting layers in my design. Wreath making is all about layering. We talk about that in Wreath of the Month Club. But building layers is pretty important when you are designing wreaths. Let's see if I can get some length on this. Okay. Put some right over here. Uh-oh. There we go. Come right back behind here. Stick some right there. Okay, I need a little bit more up in here. right? I'm going to come right across here, and I'm going to put some right there. Okay, now with these little teeny pieces, again, I'm going to go in and fill some in around my ribbon bow. Some right here. Maybe. I don't think that's gonna fit in there very well, but we're gonna try it. Nope, I think it's gonna cover the bow up too much. All right. Let's come in and put some of this or eucalyptus in. Wow, the eucalyptus is pretty. Let's try this. This is a glittered eucalyptus that I absolutely love. We're going to put some of this in. It's got a little bit of red berry on it. You can take the red berry off. Just pull it off and it comes right off. See that right there? Let's see if I can make this reach. Get a little bit longer piece. Now we talk about it a whole lot in Wreath of the Month Club, but we want to stay within our parameter of where we're designing, right? So as you're putting elements in, you need to remember, I say there's an invisible line right here around my element, my design, and I don't want to go past that. In other words, I don't want any of my elements to go outside of that, right? So I'm going to add a little bit of height right here. Oh, I'm so glad, Terry. You'll have to join us. We really enjoy and having a good time over here. Okay. Cut this down a little bit. I'm going to put some right in here. Let's see if I can get this in. You're hooked already? I understand. I definitely understand. Trying to find my styrofoam. There it is. Come on. There we go. I used to, well, I still do, but I make all different kinds of stuff, but wreath designs are my favorite because each one is different. Each design can be different. So it allows my creativity to continue to evolve. All right, I've got to have pretty long length on this. And I'm going to come right up in there and stick it up in there. Might be too long, and if it is, then I can redo it, but I've got a ways to go. There we go. See if I can get it up there a little bit further in. Perfect. This is all greenery. No florals are in this, but this is really pretty. Okay, I'm going to cut this down just a bit. Uh-oh. Let's see, I've got one left. Hold on. There it is. You see all the time, and your sister makes you one every year at Christmas. What a nice sister. Yeah, you'll have to make yourself and her one. Surprise her this year. There we go. Just like that. Step back and look real quick. Okay, I have a hole right here, and a hole is nothing more than a place where there is no color. And I need to fill that hole in. So now I'm going to start putting this dark green cedar in. Now, the reason why I'm going with a dark green is it's going to give me contrast. I mean, not contrast, dimension. So white pulls our eye in when the viewer is looking at it. Anything white or light will immediately attract our eyes. But then deep colors or dark colors pull our eye on through the design. So let me get some more still pics in here real quick. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of dark green through here. Nothing big. But it also gives it different texture. And that's what I'm looking for. If I can get it in the styrofoam. Come on. There we go. Now, like I said, these are just leftover pieces that I have pulled together and kept. And I am adding these in. It is so nice to be able to use your materials up, right? Let's get it to where it'll stay. There we go. Let's see. I think I want a little bit longer piece over here as well. Got a long ways to go from that little teeny piece of styrofoam. There we go. Take another long piece. We're going to have it draping right here. Got to hear that crunch to know it went in that styrofoam, don't you? Okay, I'm gonna put some right here. Come on. Sometimes you have to manipulate or bend. Let me see if I can take this out and make this a little shorter. Doesn't want to hold up. Let's try this one more time. I'm going to get it right in here. There we go. Okay. What do y'all think? What do you think so far? I'm going to put a little bit right here, except I don't need it doubled. Pull it apart. Now, I use the steel pick machine to hold the very, very thin wire I have, but I don't need it to get through the styrofoam. But I do need it to get through the styrofoam as well. Okay. We're going to put some right down here. See, this is where I think my steel pick machine has lost its groove, so to speak. All right, that looks really pretty. What do y'all think? Let me step back just a minute and look at it. Oh yeah, very pretty. Now, last but not least, do I want to put this berries in? Let me just, I'm thinking real quick, y'all. Give me just a second. I need some white over here, but these are different than what I already have in. So I think I'm going to put this one in like right there. And that will work. So I want to evenly distribute my colors. It doesn't matter what color you're working with. You want to evenly distribute the color. So I got to get some white over here on this side as well. Well, one of the little leaf sprays fell off, so let's just put that back on. There we go. Right? I've got one more. Do I have another one of those? Y'all remember, I'm just working with what I have. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this white berry off of this stem, and I am going to put these two together. This is a little trick that you can do. So I have mainly greenery, and I can take white berry and put it on there, right? And put the still pick machine on it. And it will help even out the design. I need berry right in here. Okay, I think that is good to go. I have a little bit more to cover up, but for the most part, I think we are done. Trying to get this ribbon bow to stand up in my design so it looks like a bow. And then lastly, I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a little bit of greenery right here, but I don't, let me figure out exactly what kind of greenery I want to put in there. That is really pretty. This right here is gorgeous up on the bow, but I'm going to cut a couple of leaves off. It needs to be thinned out just a hair. I'm going to put it right there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, put a little bit of glue on the end of it, and I'm going to stick the glue right, stick it right there and hold it for just a minute. I put, well, let me put a still pick on it. I put this wire, this ribbon, this tinseled ribbon. I put the loops together with a zip tie, and I want to cover the zip tie up. So that's why I'm putting a little bit of greenery in there, just to cover that up. All right, wow, so pretty. So very pretty. All right, I think we're done, guys. What do y'all think? I've stayed within my parameters. This is so pretty. Let me bring it closer to you so you can see it. See that right there? Just a really pretty winter wreath design, hooped wreath design. I like it. I think it turned out great. I will go back in and look at some areas here in just a little while. If there's something I need to add, I'll add it. But for the most part, I think we're done. I certainly want to thank you so much for joining me. Let me see if anybody has any questions. Oh, thank you, Mary Mind Studios. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anyway, I hope y'all have a great afternoon and a wonderful rest of the week. If you're watching on the replay, please hashtag replay. If you know somebody who is interested in learning how to make stunning wreath designs, please suggest to them that they join us over at Southern Charm Wreaths, Wreath of the Month Club. It's a wonderful community of like-minded men and women who enjoy learning how to make wreaths. We have 4 guest designers. I'm one of them. There are 3 other, including Julie, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths. It is a wonderful, safe, loving community, and we would love to have all of y'all join us. So please pass it on if you know somebody who's interested, all right? Until next time, I hope y'all have a great day. Be blessed, and as always, be somebody's blessing. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.